Hello everybody, this is Elias here with Tech Support. Today I wanted to do a quick video to show you how to create the basic foundations of a website um, so that you can create the basic things and then move further with a better design, better things. So hopefully you pick something up with this video, but I first want to recommend you that if you are going to do this, you're going to need something to you're going to need a program to be able to create these beautiful websites. So one of the programs that I always use because I'm a coder, it's Notepad++. It's a great program. They always update it and give you the latest information. So even if you did ever want to get into programming, say a PHP language, or you know um, get into deeper things, obviously, then this is a great program to get yourself to get some knowledge on, to learn from, but also just because it's very organizational. It just organizes everything for you really well. So now that I've mentioned that, I'm gonna actually I created a page here. I say that it's called index.html, as you can see. It's a blank document, so I'm gonna run it so that you can see that there's nothing on it. Run it on Firefox, as you can see, nothing on it. So the first thing I want to do, in any document, you first want to create your doc type. So you want to put in a tag, a doc type, just so that it defines the document. So this is an HTML document. Because this video is in English, I'm gonna also suggest you put in this tag here, the HTML language English, which is just defines the language of the website. So it's very good for Google crawling. And also, I wanted to add that I do want to put a font, a Google font, into the website, but that's going to be something that I'm going to show you at the end of this video. And then I'm also going to explain media queries as time goes by, but it's not going to be in this video because this video is only about the foundation. I'm also not going to use a external style sheet for the sake of this video because I just wanted to make it all make sense to you in one page. Because if I go and I start making different pages and taking left and right, it's not going to help you learn this stuff. So as I said, if you're going to create a document, a HTML document, it's going to have a doc type HTML. It's going to have the language, which is English. Then over here at the bottom, what you want to do is you want to put a head tag. So you get your head tag, and you want to close the head tag by typing this, the same thing, but a backslash. You see? So now that you have that part, you also want to create a body tag. Now, let me say one thing before we start even to work on the body. That the head tag is actually a tag where all the stuff that relates to the website, things that you're not going to see are going to be put in the head tag. For instance, your font information is going to go in there. Your style information, all that stuff is going to go in there. All the styling is going to go inside the heading. All the foundation stuff, of course, though, that goes into the HTML. So we're going to put that in there, HTML. That's the HTML tag. And then we're going to close that HTML tag. Now, nothing under this HTML tag works anymore. So just so you know, if you put anything under that, you're going outside of the document already. It's going to go at the bottom of the page, whatever the design may be for that page. So just be aware of that. Because we're not going to do an external style sheet, what we're going to do is we're going to put a style tag right up here. Now I'm not going to style anything yet because I'm going to start building the foundation right after this video. So the style, close that style right there. See? Enter in there. Sorry for all the noise in the background. I have a lot of cars coming in through my building. My actual street is a very busy street, just so you know. So it's you're hearing all that noise because of that. So now that we have the foundation of the website, we're gonna go ahead and start building this stuff up. So we're gonna have I'm gonna put let's see, I'm gonna put an H1 tag here. and we're gonna call it this is the beginning. I'll put this as the top of the website. Close that H1 tag out. Boom. Okay. So now that we did that, it's if we save it over here and we refresh the page, this is what's gonna say, right? So then we're gonna also put a H. Let's put a H4 tag, I would say. And in the H4 tag, I'm gonna put this is what my website, not site, it's about. Okay, so I'm gonna close that out. But I'm thinking about it now. I'm actually gonna make it into a H3. The reason for that is because the text will be much smaller. H3. Save that. There you go. And we're gonna put some content. I'm borrowing lorem ipsum, some text from that. So that we're gonna put into H2 tag. Into that text in there. And did that. I'm gonna have a spacing just for the sake of this video, so it doesn't confuse you all too much. I think two more lines. I think. There you go. So this is that whole paragraph right there. So now we have the content with some content in there, and we're gonna have a we're gonna save that up so you can see what I'm talking about. So right here, if you refresh it, it's H2 tag. It's a little bit too big though, but I think I know why. Also, the other thing with this web design is that you're gonna have to catch a lot of your mistakes. I would say let me put an H5 actually. I don't know what I'm doing with H3 or H2. Okay. H5 is a lot better, smaller. Makes sense, right? Let me actually know an H4 just so that it looks sort of decent, right? Okay, that looks a lot better right there. So with this website, you don't really have much here. As you can see, there's just no design really into it. It's just text, which is okay. Text is okay. It isn't the best layout though, right? It doesn't. It just looks. It's a blank document, right? So what you want to do is, when you're creating a website, is you want to put this website in a nice box or a nice setup so that it doesn't look like there's nothing there, right? So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna try to get some styling into this website right now. So for the header over here, which is this is the top of the website, I'm gonna make a class. And the way we would go about that is you put div class and you give it a title. So let's call it the top. We're gonna close it, but we're gonna close it in the bottom of this so that it doesn't look too crazy. That's a div. Now, because you guys haven't seen the power of the styling the divs, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna go up to the style area where I put the text earlier, and see, I'm gonna name that tag. I'm gonna name that class. I'm gonna put that the same name, the top, right here. See, everything with tags is about opening and closing. So that's where I'm at right here. This is the open area where you can put in any text. So I'm gonna make that div into. gonna make it into, since this is a class actually, not a div. I'm gonna give it a background, a good background for that. Now, one of the cool things that I do is wet wet 2.0 colors. I go to this website all the time because it's really cool. It gives you like really cool colors that everybody uses. The main colors, you know, your Mozilla red, your flicker pink, all that cool stuff. So it gives you that up to date, gives you the up to date colors. Anyway, so for this top div, I want to use a nice color. I would say I'll use an the Etsy color. So this is the Etsy color right here, this code right here, see? So I'm gonna put a background. So I'm gonna go back into our style to the top and then put background. I'm gonna put this color, paste that in. And let's actually go into this the thing we had here earlier, the same thing. So we gave that a background. Now we're gonna give this a width. Width of, let's give it 500. Height. It needs a height, so we're gonna give it I would say 100 pixels. That's pretty much it when it comes to that part. So now we're gonna go here and refresh it after we save it, and notice that you have text inside there. See? So to make this fair, let's make it into 400, and there you go. So we were able to put that information inside this div. So that's the first step. Now we're gonna go into and create a second div. So and we're gonna call it a div class. I'm gonna call it middle. And this stuff you can put a navigation bar in the middle. You can put anything in there. I'm only doing. I don't want to do a navigation bar because that would take too long. So I'd rather just do this and just give you like a nice example. Now I save it here, but notice that nothing has happened, right? That's because we haven't added any style to it. So we're gonna put some style into it now. Remember this div name is middle, so we're gonna call middle dot middle, and we're gonna close that out. Again, the same thing that we did here, we can actually copy it and modify it. So you don't have to do all that typing. People think that typing code, that it's so, oh, you have to type in all this code. No, you can type code, but you can also copy a lot of stuff too that you don't need. Even on the internet, if you find something like, I'm changing the color here to the flock blue. I'm gonna give this about the same. I'm gonna actually give it So I'm gonna give it 50% or 40 pixels. I mean 50 pixels. There you go, 50 pixels. And let's save that up. So go here. So the box turned blue, right? So I like that Gmail blue as well. So I'm gonna do the same thing with the next div, which I'm gonna call that next div the content div. Again, you can name the div whatever you want. I'm just using that so that you can think about it and it reminds you, okay, that's what he used for content. That makes sense, because you have to map things out when it comes to websites, because if you don't, you're gonna run into trouble there trying to go back and to fix things. You do have to go back and look at code again and try to fix this information that you put in there, because guess what, it could be a problem for you at the end of the day. So we're gonna put in a 500 no, not 500, I guess I would put 300 width height on it, just so that we have something there. So the content, width, all that cool stuff. So now this h4 here, we're gonna put another class, just with the content name, of course. Oh, I forgot to do this here. There you go. So content div ID, no, class content. And then at the bottom, I'm going to close it again. Div. Boom. Okay. So we saved that up, and what do we have here? Notice how the content all went inside that box. So it no longer looks that bad anymore, right? Because we were able to go ahead and put all the content inside the actual area where it has to be. Now I want to also center these boxes. Obviously you can make them bigger, but it's all about what you want to do. I'm only doing this so that I can show you the basics of it. We're gonna put these like that. We're gonna actually make these these three boxes put them into the middle part of it. That last one right there. So I'm gonna save that up and show you right now. See, it went to the to the central part. But it looks like the content needs to be organized a little more, right? Because it's all in boxes, and doesn't make any sense, right? So what we'll do here, and this is going to be the video is about to end soon, but I just wanted to show you that you can also add a padding to it. Padding. And what I do is I usually do something like this. 10 pixels and 10 pixels. And what that does is it spaces things out. Kind of organizes the content a lot better, right? So we're gonna do the same thing for all of them, just so that they have an organized type of content in there. Because let's just face it, if you don't do that, you're gonna get yourself confused, So over here, and we're gonna save that. So let's see how that looks now. Okay, notice how all the boxes have organized their text, but the bottom one has a little bit of a problem. The problem is that the text, there's too much text in here. So what you want to do is you want to add a little bit of I would say add a 10 to it, to that height. Maybe a 15. Okay, let's see, 15. See, perfect. So you can go ahead and do something like that, and it'll look really nice on you. Another thing you can do, and this is going to be the last thing, and then after that I'll show you how to put the font in it, the Google font. So you'll go into you'll create a div, a container div, which I should have put it on the top. I might as well put it on the top, just for the sake of this the organization part. Container. The container div is actually pretty cool because you can put all your you can put the whole three boxes in one box. So we're gonna give that a width of 400 as well. 400. I swear I can't type today. Height. Let's say 15. 65. Let's go for 65 to see. Okay. So we have that. We have the container information here. So we also have to put the container. So all this stuff is it's in the middle of here. So we will go here up to the div class, the top one, div class container. Div class container, and we want to put a closing div in the bottom as well. So I would hold the container information right there. Let's see what it does. Save it. Notice that it put the actual items back to the left, right? That's because you need a padding. I mean, you need a margin again, but you need it for the container. So, and you can, if you're totally welcome to get those out of there, the ones that are there. But yeah, that's pretty much how that would work. One last thing, and then we'll go into the Google Fonts right away. So let's put a border on there. Solid. Let's say, I think solid would be a good idea. So you put a solid line, solid body, see? But notice that at the bottom it didn't fully do the border for it. So that's because you might have to change the width to, I would say, a good 410. Let's see. Probably 415, probably 420 actually. There you go. It's a perfect size right there. So this is pretty much it when it comes to creating the foundations of a website. The next thing I'm going to push into right now, and I'm going to do this really quick, I'm going to show you how to work the Google Fonts. And I've already picked up a font. You can do so. You can even make one over the Google Fonts website. But so what you do is you go into this website here, and it's going to take you to the import, and you can actually copy the code. See, right here. This will be what would go to your website right here. See. So it's your style sheet. Wait a minute, what am I doing? That's too quick. So notice that I also mentioned earlier about the head, which is where everything goes. That's because this is where everything goes. It would go in. So you copy this over here, paste it up here. It's a link reference. It'll actually connect to a font externally, and it will send that information. Google will send the font information to your website. It'll change the actual font of the website. Because this is in the body, we want to also put a body tag on the CSS. Let's see, and this is the CSS for that font. So you go in there, you save it, and then you go here. And notice how the font changed here. Oh, another thing I wanted to show you before we continued, I just realized that I didn't show you this. In the middle of the header, I also want you to remember that you do have to put a title into a website. So let's call it, this is my website. And then, close that out. Title. Okay. But going back to, let me show you this before we continue. Okay, so this is how I put, how before there was nothing in there? Once I did that, I put, this is my website, it puts the title up there just in case you didn't know. Little bonus, but I'm pretty sure a lot of you knew that, but if you didn't know, that's what you have to do. When it comes to this this situation here, the text is a little bit at the bottom. You can pretty much make it higher. You can if you want to let's see, if you want to You can actually make it into 480. I would say, yeah, 480 would be good from what it seems there. Maybe not, but we'll see. And the height on the bottom would probably be 4. Let's see how that looks now. Content. Okay, there you go. Another thing you can do is so that this doesn't look like this. You could actually make it a little bit bigger. Let's make it 450. Okay, so that means you have to also make the side a little bigger. So we're going to put 450, probably better. I think I'm stretching it too long, but no, not 460. I'm doing this stuff just so that you don't have a problem later on and like asking me, well, how do I do that? How do I do this? So 470 probably would be the best. There you go, perfect. So 470 for each of these guys. 470 and 470. There you go. A little bit bigger. So again, you got to go into your container and put 75. Because it looks like it's a 75, or maybe less. Yeah, no, it's definitely 480. 485 probably. The container. 485 pixels, okay. I guess it's 47. Uh, 489. You gotta find out exactly what the size is. A lot of people are very good at math. I'm not myself, so I tell you like this. I put 490 just to make it nice. 491, 490 pixels, and that's pretty much it. There you go. So you have a box where content has been organized in. Um, Obviously, you can extend the box, you can make it smaller, you can make it bigger. It all depends on you and what you want to do. There's different examples of things you can do, which I won't get into them, but you definitely can research more. And I'm also going to have a second video with the external style sheet. So that's pretty much it for me right now. Signing off. This is Elias. Take care, everybody.